I built this automated tenant repair request dispatcher system that automatically contacts the service providers to fix the issue if it is an emergency one. But at the same time, if the issue was a standard non-emergency one, it simply needs a human in the loop approval from the Slack of the owner himself. So this is the sub automation system which simply handles and deals with the human in the loop approvals, and it will automatically contacts the vendor too. So, I mean, technically the service provider. And we will be also saving this particular, outreach message to our context, I mean, our Redis memory, so that we can use that particular Redis chat memory to the AI agent, so that AI agent will actually have the real context of what actually the service provider was contacted for. Okay. So whenever the service provider simply replies back, this particular AI agent will simply talks back. I mean, chats with him and simply grabs his time slots and simply notifies the owner about the arrival of the service provider. So firstly, let me just show you the demo first, and after that, I will simply explain you how the data will flow from node to node from beginning to the end. Let us test the system live. So firstly, we have to fill up this tenant report form. I am just submitting a sample details right here. Okay, we got a Slack message, which means the execution was really successful. And it was asking me for the approval, which was nothing but human in the loop was actually working right here. And all I have to do to approve this particular task is just reacting with this particular emoji. Okay, it was successful. And even the service provider got the message. So yeah, the human in the loop actually works. So let us test this thing. I will simply perform a simple chat like the service provider, and we'll see what will happen actually. Just have a look. It simply confirmed, and it also gave the property and the tenant and the issue and the exact time back to the owner right here. So yeah, everything was completely automated. And yeah, I will admit that this particular third AI agent can be more complex and can be more, useful than now. But I simply built this whole workflow within under 3 hours, so it's kind of a hassle. But at least it was in a working state, so you can simply grab the template and update it by yourself. So everything was simply working right here. Let me just explain you how the data will flow from node to node. But before that, just make a note of these sheet headers so that you can simply replicate these three Google Sheets in your own system and simply connect the Google Sheets to this particular system and just run it. Okay. It was more like a prerequisite. So yeah, firstly, whenever a tenant simply submits this particular form, the workflow will get triggered and the data will be sanitized right here. And after that, we will be simply save the maintenance issue as a log right here, just without editing anything. It was more like a saving the tenant submission in the log. So this is the Google Sheet for that. And we will check whether I mean, this is the simple system prompt right here. So there can be a lot of improvements right here too, but it was more like an MVP, so it's fine. It will simply categorizes the issue into three types: emergency one and urgent and standard. So we will be moving forward and we will be checking whether, and also just a second. And also there is this, available service categories. So we will be check whether just a second. We will be check against if the trade required was in other category. then that particular task will should be handled by the owner himself. So, but if in case if the request was in the available services right here, then we will be moving forward to using this particular sub workflow logic right here, and we will be using the switch node, and we will be categorizing the you know issues, uh, emergency and urgent and standard. So far, if the issue was categorized as emergency by the AI agent, then we will be simply blindly contact the service provider with this particular logic. And in all the remaining cases, urgent and the standard issue, we simply needed a human in the loop approval right here. Okay. So after that, this particular small sub workflow will actually handles the whole human in the loop approvals and all. And we will be also be filtering out everything, which was nothing but only the verified user can be simply trigger the human in the loop approval. So we are simply using this particular node. And by the way, it simply triggers whenever the particular user simply uses the tick mark I have been shown before. Okay. And we'll be grabbing the thread content, technically the message text and all, and we will be cleaning the whole data right here, and we will be say, I mean, we will be you, I mean, after cleaning the data, we will be simply grabbing the that particular service categories, service provider details right here, which are nothing but the survey. I mean, we will, if the issue was marked as plumbing, we will be only grabbing this, grabbing the plumber details from the Google Sheet. Okay. So after that, we will be send an automated message to you know, to the service provider right here. So after that, even that outbound message to the service provider will be saved in the Redis, uh, Redis context, because we can use that particular context and give it to the AI agent so that it will, even the outbound message will be saved in the memory so that the AI agent will have the complete context. Okay, so whenever the service provider simply replies back, this particular workflow will actually works and simply with the available context, it simply works out of the box. Okay, so we will be simply using this particular uh, Redis node to simply save the whole outbound messaging to the memory too. So yeah, and after that we will be simply using this particular, active help request and simply save the whole thing in here in this particular Google Sheet. Okay, and after that we will be sending the message to the owner saying that okay, because of your approval, we simply contacted the service provider right here. So yeah, and after that, as I simply told now, this particular sub workflow maybe needs more improvement, but yeah, I was completely out of time, so you can simply grab the template and simply do a few updates right here. So yep, this is how the whole data will flow from node to node from the beginning to the end. So that's it for today.